Hey everyone, and welcome to the results video of my 30-day tidying challenge. This is a challenge that I created a couple of years ago based on Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. As I was rewatching my old videos and preparing to do updates for all of these videos, I was surprised with this one by how I am still using the same storage solutions that I came up with 2 years ago, and they're still serving me to this day. Of course, there have been some little changes because I've developed a plant hobby, so we've moved some of the furniture around a little bit. The way we're storing the majority of our things is still pretty much the same as what you're about to see in this video. This is going to be a long one, so let's just jump right into the footage. Today is going to be a day of show and tell. I thought it would be fun to go through each area that I tidied from day 1 to day 30 and show you a little example of how I landed with storing the items. Now, full disclosure, I am not done. I bit off a little more than I could chew with this 30-day challenge, both doing the tidying and of course recording and uploading these videos. Especially in the past 2 or 3 days, I have been feeling a little bit stressed, but it has been worth it. The condo looks pretty good. I am very happy with the results, and I'm going to show you everything in this video. As we summarize each of the 30 days of tidying in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the areas that I wish I had done a more thorough job on, and will be a continuing tidying and organizing process. I think we have let go of the majority of things that we want to let go. So going forward, I'm really going to try to tweak the organization aspect and the storage aspect. But I wanted this series to be a very accurate reflection of a 30-day tidying journey. I have a feeling this is going to be quite a lengthy video, so let's go ahead and jump right into the clips. On day 1, we tackled clothes, and I want to show you what my side of the closet looks like. Please try to ignore hubby's side. I'm trying to block it as much as I can. Is it working? At first, I didn't think I could do vertical storage because I have all open shelves, and these shelves actually pull out. But I decided to try folding some of my things vertically on these shelves because they're a little bit smaller and more manageable, and it worked out so well. I am in love with the way it looks. Unfortunately, I am going to have to disrupt this at some point because I'm going to be switching the shelves around so that my spring and summer clothing is here, and I'm going to be moving my very bulky sweaters up to the top shelf. But right now, this is making me very happy. In terms of the bottom shelves, I thought of this storage solution very recently, probably around a week ago. What I decided to do was to take these storage bins, which we already had, but we had deployed them in other areas of the condo, and I used the KonMari method of folding for all of my clothing items that now reside in these drawers. I have 2 of these plastic bins on each of the 4 shelves. The last thing I wanted to point out for clothing is that I decided to pull out this dress, which is my favorite dress. Instead of having this tucked away in a drawer, I would pull it out and display it prominently so I can see it every day. Socks and underwear storage is pretty much the same that I showed on day 2. So I've got my underwear in this drawer, I've got my bras here, and even though I did this on day 2, I've been able to keep it tidy this entire time. And here we have my sports bras, my bandeaus, and my bikini tops, and I was able to let go of a few more bathing suits. On day 3, we tidied handbags, and all of my handbags are now residing in this shelving unit. I know it looks a little bit messy because the shelves are open, but I promise you it is much better than it was before. Previously, my handbags were stored in quite a few places around the condo, and now they're all consolidated here. They're also stored vertically and using the bag-in-bag method. For example, this bag here actually houses 2 additional bags inside. These drawers pull out really nicely, so as you can see, I've got the vertical storage going on here. I also decided to store my reusable bags here, so now I can just go in and very easily grab my favorite one. Here's how I decided to store my scarves. Again, vertical storage, and this is a storage unit that we have under the bed. Jewelry is an area that I didn't quite finish. I'd like to go through it one more time. For that reason, I'm only going to show this particular jewelry box, which my friend gave me. I actually told her a few times I didn't want it because I wasn't accumulating more stuff, but she wasn't going to use it, and she said she was just going to donate it. It is a beautiful jewelry box, so I'm happy I took it. Thank you to my friends for hanging on to it for so long for me. This is where I keep my earrings now. I'm currently wearing the pair that normally resides here. As well, I have earrings in this drawer and in the bottom drawer. Shoes are something that are going to continue residing in different parts of the condo. I took one of your suggestions and grouped them by type of shoe. So these are all my high heels. I did declutter a bunch of them that I was only wearing at work, but I wasn't 100% crazy about them. All of our books reside in this wall unit, but I'm only going to show this one little example here. We've essentially created little vignettes with our books, and while this isn't the KonMari method of storage because the books aren't stored vertically, I just love the way books look stacked on top of each other, so we've created these little short stacks in various areas of the wall units. I'm not super happy with the way this shelf looks, but it is very functional. This is for the project work that I do, so I needed it in a very central location that is easy to access. In the back, I have some files stored vertically, and these are all our health records, Lulu and Truffle's health records, as well as 7 years of our tax records. We don't have a lot of DVDs left, but the ones that we do have are stored on a couple of shelves in the wall units. All of our stationery resides in a unit that houses these boxes. It's going to be too much to show all of the stationery and the way I organized it. Instead, I'm going to show you this one box for elastics and clips. Here is how I organized everything. Previously, I was using those empty, round Bath & Body Works candle containers. This is just much more compact, and the boxes nest so nicely together. Here's where we house the majority of our electronics. I am so happy with this. We know exactly where everything is now, and everything is tidy and organized. If you're from my other channel, my beauty channel, you guys will definitely appreciate this because this is where all of my makeup and skincare and nail polish reside now. I have a few facial cleansers and masks in the bathroom, but everything else is here. I have this little before and after photo of my nail polish pile that I wanted to share. At the height of my collection, I had around 360 nail polishes. I had done swatch sticks for pretty much all of them, and now I just have a small collection of swatch sticks remaining, which reside in this drawer. And this is where the majority of my perfume resides. I also have a few stored in the bathroom, but those are used for my Epsom salt baths. Vitamins and medicines are pretty much exactly how you saw them on the day 14 tidying video. Similarly, for valuables, this is working out very well, and I was able to use up 2 of my coupons and 1 of my gift cards since organizing the storage in this way. We keep a very small selection of tools in the condo. Everything else is in the locker. The things we have in the condo are stored in this cupboard here. This is the hobby and craft area that doesn't include photography supplies. I've got my paint supplies here, my sewing supplies, I've got some stuff for knitting, and my other various supplies relating to hobbies and crafts. We have figurines and collectibles and home decor in all areas of the condo, but I thought I would show this little Pottery Barn unit in this segment because it has come such a long way. Previously, all 25 compartments were filled with figurines and this and that, but we've cleared all of that out and we keep only the things that are most dear to us. So I love the way this looks now. We don't plan to fill up all of the empty space. Lulu is currently looking at my Just Because items. This is all I have remaining. Hubby still has a lot of junk drawers, but I really only have a few things which I still love, and you can finally see them now. Truffle's linens are in the locker, so these are just for hubby and me. We decided to keep 1 backup set of bed sheets, and we also have a couple of extra towels, some pillowcases, and we have 2 bed sheets in the back that we intend to use for picnicking. The majority of our puzzles and games are now stored in the locker, but we keep a few things upstairs. I decided to store these items with our papers because I needed some fun in this very functional space. Most of our recreational items and travel items and luggage are stored in the locker. We have this little box of travel goodies in the condo. This houses our foreign currency, our passports, etc. I'm not going to show you what's inside because it is not organized. That is something that I have tabled for another day. We keep a small collection of gift wrap and gift bags in the locker now, but we do have some ribbon in the condo, which I've organized into this box. There are other supplies stored here like the cord and the Velcro, so I keep this with hobbies and crafts. Welcome to our hall closet where we keep our umbrellas. The majority of our umbrellas that we use on a day-to-day basis are just hanging on this door handle. Not the ideal situation, but it does work. And when you close the door, you don't see the umbrellas at all, which is nice. It's very functional, yet tucked away. And then we've got our larger umbrellas just sitting in the corner of our hall closet. There is so much that I could show for the kitchen, but I thought I would show this drawer because it is the most significant change, I think. This was our bottom cupboard, which used to be very, very messy. Here's part of our pantry. This probably doesn't look a whole lot different to you, but I promise you it is much more bare and much more organized. This makes me so happy. We now have a solution for our plastic bags that doesn't involve them being stuffed into a cupboard over the stove and falling on me every time I need one. They are now KonMari'd and residing very happily under our kitchen sink. We still have pet supplies stored in various places around the condo, but this makes me really happy. This resides above Lulu's crate, and it is very organized now with her leashes and harnesses in one box, Truffle's snacks and his food bowl in another box, along with some of his grooming tools. His food is also there. I no longer have to go into the bedroom to get his food. He always tries to sneak in when I go in there. This is the state of the cupboard under the sink. Again, a lot more tidy and organized. My best friend and I used to write letters to each other. We did this between 2003 to 2007 when she was away for school and I was working in Toronto at my full-time job. I couldn't bear to part with these letters. I thought initially that I was going to let them go, but I just couldn't do it. What I did instead was I took them all out of their envelopes and I sorted them in date order and filed them vertically, and this is what it looks like. It is finally time for the before and after photos. I want to warn you that the before photos depict an incredibly messy condo. I almost forgot to take the before photos. I actually took them as I was tidying on day one. So there is stuff all over the place and the condo is just a huge mess. Typically we do tidy up the condo a little bit if we have guests over. So this isn't a really accurate depiction of what the before looks like, especially compared to the after when I did tidy up and I made sure everything was put in its proper place before I took the photos. So the severity of the before and after is not quite an apples to apples comparison, but I really had no idea what I was going to do with this series. If you guys follow me on my other channel, you'll know that I pretty much conceived of this series a few days before I started. I threw together the calendar and then I just went in and started filming. That's kind of the way I do things on my channel. All that to say that the before and after photos are what they are. They're not perfect, but I tried to show a pretty accurate depiction of what the condo looked like before versus now that I am all done tidying. I must say I am super happy with the results, especially with certain areas of the condo like the under the kitchen sink photo, which you just saw. And you're about to see some of the pull-out drawers in our kitchen as well, which I am super duper happy with. You can clearly see by these after photos that I still have a lot of stuff, but it is much more pared down than it was before, and I'm very happy with where I landed. Does this mean that I feel like I did perfect with this tidying? Of course not. I still have a long ways to go, and I still kept a few things that didn't spark joy, but I just couldn't let go of. But it is what it is. I did my best, and I'm really happy with the way the tidying journey taught me a lot about myself, and I was able to check off this bucket list item, which is KonMari, our entire condo. I was able to document it, and I just feel like this is something that was weighing on my mind that I wanted to do, and I am finally done. So it feels wonderful. The last thing I wanted to mention is I did come across tremendous feelings of guilt, shame, regret, wastefulness, and just being downright hard on myself when I was going through the tidying. I do feel it was well deserved though, and I'm glad I felt those feelings. There's a term in Japanese called Motenai, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's basically the feeling of regret at having wasted something. I felt this so much throughout the entire 30-day tidying journey, and I'm glad I felt this because that means that going forward, I'm going to be much more careful at what I bring into the home. I know I won't be perfect, but I'm going to work on it, and I definitely do not want to have this level of excess and clutter ever again in my lifetime. Let's all remember, though, that we're all still human and we need to be kind to ourselves and forgive ourselves as well as others. So while I felt like those negative emotions were well deserved on my part and I needed to feel those feels, I'm going to use those emotions as a catalyst for change. I never want to feel that way again, so I do think that this tidying journey has helped me become almost a better version of myself. And that is going to be it for my 30-day tidying challenge. Thank you all so much for following along, watching this series, or perhaps rewatching this series. Before I close off this video, I just wanted to mention that the life-changing magic of tidying up truly was life-changing for me. I first read this book in 2014, and that's where the concept started to permeate my mind and slowly take root. But it wasn't until I did the full KonMari method that I truly feel that I became a changed person. The main changes I've noticed are that I purchase less. I bring less into the home because I appreciate the things I have more. I have a newfound respect for the items in my home and indeed for the home itself. And that mindset has really allowed me to curate what I bring into my home and work on my hoarding tendencies. I still have them, especially in the area of food, but I'm really trying to work on it, and I'm continuing to do little self-development exercises and reflections to nudge me in the direction that I'd like to take my life in. So that is going to be it for this video and this video series. Thank you again for following along. I'll be back very soon with another video. Until then, please take care and bye for now.